Holla warriors, long time no speak, and I keep promising you some glamorous locations, but today we got Mr. S's car, and the infamous Mr. S is driving. We're doing driving Miss Sammy days, because we're actually en route to the airport. We're going to the south of France to stay with some friends for a week, and it's our first holiday in 3 years, so I'm anxious to help and nervous in equal measures. I hope you can hear me over Veronica, my husband's sat nav of the car, because she's awful bossy. I just thought I would check in with you. It's been really, really busy for me, which is why I've been a bit AWOL. My daughter got married 2 weeks ago, which was absolutely amazing, but it meant that she went to Gretna Green to get married just due to all the COVID issues with cancelling the venues. So a whole 22 of us went up to Gretna Green, and then we went to Edinburgh for 5 days as well, which was lovely. Really busy, but I just didn't have time to stop. Between work and trying to organise, get stuff for the wedding, and I had tables to dress, and I'm kind of glad actually, because I think my anxiety would have been a nightmare had it not been. So just to check in with you, not a lot of change for me. Still having periods. Every time I hope that they're not going to come, they land like a bad smell. And I'm still getting really ill over the time that I have my periods. So I've been really poorly actually the last week. I've had migraines every day. Yesterday I couldn't function. My eyes were flickering and my legs were funny and I had brain fog. But I know as soon as I wake up actually that I'm not going to be well, so I couldn't have worked yesterday if I wanted to. So I'm so glad that I cleared my office on Friday, because yesterday would have been a non-day. I couldn't have even read anything to work, and I've just realised now that I just torture myself, so I don't even try. So I kind of did myself a favour by working long hours last week. But what I do is, when I have a good day, I work stupid long hours, because I just want to make that day last as long as possible, because I don't know when the next great day is going to be. So last week, for example, I worked 19 hours in a day, which is really quite unhealthy, but I can't tell you how much I got done. And I just think that when I'm able to do it, it's good for me to do it, because it means I'm knocking things off my list, which is good for my anxiety. Because some days I may have 3 migraines a day, and it's a write-off. So there's no changes there for me. I want to talk to you about testosterone, because this is something I've been speaking to you about for a while now. Now, I read this week that the doctors are now giving patients testosterone on prescription. Now, I don't think it's the androfen that I have. I think it's called Testone. But I've said this to you time and time and time again. The HRT, so the utrogestin, and I can't even think, because this is my menopause brain. The products that I take make me feel better. They reduce. I don't have migraines like I did. I was having migraines every single day. I only have them now maybe 8 to 10 days of a month, and that's more manageable. They get rid of a lot of my brain fog, not all of it. I have days where I wake up, my husband will tell you, I woke up yesterday, it was a write-off. I couldn't even function. So, but testosterone for me is the icing on the cake, because even when I'm having really bad days, it helps me get up and do something. So even though I couldn't work or I couldn't do anything of substance yesterday, I still got up and I was able to go in the car, and we went over my mum's, and whereas before I couldn't have done any of those things. So I want you all to have a look at the effects of testosterone. Go to your GPs, get some testing, get some real blood testing, because it'll tell you what your testosterone levels do, because GPs are not doing real tests for the menopause, which is infuriating, but insist on getting your testosterone tested. And honestly, for me, the testosterone have made me feel probably the best out of all the products that I take. Now, I couldn't cope without the HRT, but it is that little thing. So I just want you to have a look for it, because I read that the doctors are giving it as really important, and I think this is a big step for us women, because I've been paying for it privately now for 2 years, I would say, since I found my consultant. So it's really important, and I think it's a good step. The is I told you a while ago that I changed the way that I took my product. So I still do my pumps, and that's normal, but my Diaz-Sutton, my consultant advised me to try taking it 1 a day for 24 days as opposed to 2 a day for 12 days. So I started doing that, which would have been 3 months ago, so this would have been my 3rd month, and I have to say I feel better for taking 1 a day for 24 days. I used to feel hideous for 12 days. I was taking it before, and I don't know whether that was the dose or the way it went into my system, but I'm just feeling now that even though I'm still having, bad days, it's the menopause, it is what it is, every day is a different day, I find that my hormones are way more balanced since I've been taking the Diaz-Sutton, and I feel ill now when I come off it for the 4 days, go figure. So, and they're the days that I have my period, and I am not poorly, I'm having a bit of a sweat on while I'm talking to you, so I'm not perfect all the time, and the HRT don't make me 100%, and I'm not expecting it to do, but it just helps me function. But I had a client there at the house last week, and I'm going to speak to you about this because I think it was a bit of a reality check for me. And she's going through the menopause, and she just said to me she's got no filter, and she's just gone to the doctors and she started HRT patches. She wasn't sure whether they were doing anything yet. She was saying how grumpy she was, and how irritable, and it just was on and on. So we were chatting about it, and she said to me, "You look better than when I saw you last year." Now last year I was in the worst place that I'd been for years, I think. I was trialling out this new product. I couldn't get the HRT that I was on. We were all going through COVID, so which made things worse. And last year, actually, I think I told you at the time, I sent an email to my client saying, "Look, I'm not incompetent, I just can't work. I've been able to function because of the migraines, etc." So she said to me, "You look so bad." She says, "Having HRT been life-changing?" And it was only at that point that I actually realised, listen, it hasn't taken me back to where I was before this. I'm not even 50% of that person. But it is life-changing in the way that for the first time in 3 years, my office is up to date before I've come away. I haven't been in this place for a long, long, long time. Now, I read a lot. I question everything I do, which is really bad. Not question because I'm confident I know what I do, but I have to just double check everything just to make sure, because sometimes, because your mind plays tricks on you, it makes you reread, and I thought that was just me. But I was actually talking to a friend of mine a couple of months ago who's a new professional who was headhunted to go and do some real high-end HR work, and she changed the way companies did things dramatically, so she's a real high flyer. And I said to her, "Do you know what, I read stuff all the time?" She said, "Yeah, so do I." She said, everything I do, I reread and double check, and it just made me feel a bit better that I wasn't on my own actually doing that, because I talked to you about it, but I don't get a lot of input back in that way, so it just made me feel that I wasn't going like a lunatic. But she also said to me she stopped drinking. She hasn't had a drink for coming up to a year because she couldn't cope with the anxiety, menopausal hangovers that she was getting as a result of that. Now, I haven't stopped doing that. I said to you before, if I'm going to have a drink, I know how ill I'm going to be. I know I'm going to have anxiety for at least 1, if not 2 days. So, but I go in there head on thinking I can't let this disease, this hormonal change, dictate everything that we do and have no fun. Because when I am out, if I know I'm going out and I'm going to suffer, I do enjoy things, and we've got to have some fun to break up the misery that's inside. So I just thought I'd update you really. Now, I'm going away. I'm not great at flying. Oh, I wasn't great at flying before the menopause and before my anxiety, so my poor husband's stuck with me today. And we were talking about this morning. About 15 years ago, I can remember actually having a meltdown outside Heathrow Airport. Wouldn't even go in through the terminal because I couldn't get on the plane. So just to explain to you how my love of flying is. So we are going to a friend's house who've emigrated, so it's going to be rather lovely just to get away. She's like my big sister, and if anybody you know, can kind of put us at ease and give us a great time is going to be them. So it's nice to go away. It's nice to be doing something. We're on the same time. Like you, we just get this anxiety that goes with it. So I will do a vlog from their house for you, so at least you've got a better view. Then I think we're on the M40 or something along those lines. Rock and roll, baby. And I hope you're all keeping well. Like I said, just check out the information that's out there on testosterone, because that's the news to me, that GPs are now giving that out on prescription, because that is life-changing. So please, please, please check that out, and I will check in with you. And I just want to say a massive thank you to all the people that reach out to me and send me messages. I read everything that comes to me. I might not reply at the time because I just can't juggle everything like I used to, so I only can focus on one thing at a time. And unfortunately, it was my daughter's wedding and work, so I couldn't do it all. Now I'm on holiday for a week. You'll probably hear more of me because I'll be at a loose end and I can't concentrate to read a book, and so I'll be looking for something to do, so you might see much more of this face. So I'll try and do a vlog while I'm out in France, and I will keep in touch. Just look after yourselves, and